In the heart of ancient rivers, beneath the silent stars, a fire was kindled, one that would never fade. A land where wisdom flows like the Ganges, and strength rises like the Himalayas. This is the story of India, a story of dreams forged in the furnace of time, of souls unbroken by storm or struggle. Today, you'll uncover the untold secrets behind a nation's rise, a power that moves not just armies, but hearts and minds across the world. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change how you see power forever. India's demographic structure is one of its greatest strategic advantages today. With more than 65% of its population under the age of 35 and nearly half below the age of 25, India has the youngest population among major economies. This youth bulge is more than just a statistic. It represents an immense reservoir of potential, energy, and innovation. Across cities and towns, millions of young Indians are entering the workforce every year, bringing with them fresh ideas, technical skills, and an entrepreneurial mindset. Unlike many aging nations in the West and East Asia, India's young population can power its economy for decades to come. This makes India not only a future consumer market, but also a leading source of global talent. The rise of digital platforms, remote work, and the global gig economy has unlocked new opportunities for Indian youth. Many are creating startups, coding for international tech companies, freelancing across borders, and solving local problems with global tools. India has become one of the top countries in the world for producing software engineers, tech entrepreneurs, and digital creators, all largely under the age of 40. This demographic edge is also driving innovation beyond technology. Young Indians are shaping public discourse, influencing politics, demanding accountability, and engaging with the world through social media, art, and activism. Their mobility, education, and global exposure are creating a generation that is confident, capable, and globally competitive. Education reforms, digital literacy campaigns, and vocational training programs are now being tailored to harness this energy more effectively. The right investments in health, education, and skilling will determine how far this youth-driven momentum can go. For now, India's young population is not just a number, it's a force, redefining what power looks like in the 21st century. India's rise as a global technology powerhouse didn't happen overnight. It began with a strong foundation in mathematics, science, and engineering, disciplines deeply rooted in India's academic culture. Over the past few decades, this foundation evolved into a large-scale movement of technological transformation, making India a leader in the global digital economy. The information technology boom of the 1990s marked a turning point. Indian engineers, many trained in the prestigious IIT and other technical institutions, began filling roles in global tech companies. Indian IT firms like Infosys, TCS, and Wipro scaled rapidly, offering high-quality software solutions to clients around the world. This outsourcing wave not only boosted the Indian economy, but also earned global trust in the capabilities of Indian talent. As the tech ecosystem matured, India transitioned from being a service provider to becoming a center for innovation. Cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune transformed into tech hubs. Today, India is home to one of the largest startup ecosystems in the world. Unicorns in fintech, edtech, health tech, and logistics are not only solving local problems, but also attracting international investment and recognition. The growth of mobile technology further accelerated India's digital leadership. With over 800 million internet users and widespread access to affordable smartphones, India became a massive testing ground for digital platforms. Innovations like UPI revolutionized digital payments, inspiring other countries to study and replicate similar models. India's technology influence also extends to the global workforce. Indian-origin leaders now head some of the world's largest tech companies at every level, from startup founders to AI researchers to cloud architects. Indian professionals are playing key roles in shaping the future of technology. This deep integration into the global digital framework has firmly established India not just as a participant, but as a leader in the tech revolution. India's approach to foreign policy has been defined by strategic autonomy and quiet strength. Rather than aligning rigidly with any one global power bloc, India has chosen to chart its own path, engaging with multiple nations based on national interest rather than ideology. This independent approach has earned India a distinct position in global diplomacy. During the Cold War, India maintained a non-aligned stance, refusing to be pulled into the binary politics of the United States and the Soviet Union. In the 21st century, that legacy has evolved into a sophisticated balancing act. India maintains strong defense ties with Russia, deepening military cooperation and energy deals, while simultaneously expanding strategic and economic partnerships with the United States and European Union. This ability to engage across divides without compromising its sovereignty is a key strength of India's foreign policy. India has also deepened its role in regional and multilateral forums. It is an active member of the Quad, working with the US, Japan, and Australia to promote stability in the Indo-Pacific. At the same time, it continues to lead in forums like BRICS, the G20, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India's participation is not limited to presence. It brings leadership, ideas, and initiatives that reflect its growing influence. Another vital aspect of India's diplomatic strategy is its commitment to development partnerships with countries in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. Through technology sharing, infrastructure development, and educational exchanges, India strengthens its global relationships without aggressive posturing. India's diplomats and leaders often operate with quiet determination rather than loud declarations. This subtle but firm engagement style allows India to navigate complex global challenges, build trust with diverse nations, and assert itself as a responsible, rising power in an increasingly polarized world. India's space program is one of the most remarkable achievements in modern scientific history. What began in the 1960s with modest resources and basic infrastructure has evolved into one of the world's most respected and cost-effective space agencies. The Indian Space Research Organization, known as ISRO, has become a symbol of national pride and global curiosity. One of the most defining moments came in 2014 when India successfully launched the Mars orbiter mission, Mangalyaan, on its first attempt. It was the first Asian nation to reach Mars orbit, and it achieved this feat at a fraction of the cost incurred by other spacefaring nations. This mission demonstrated India's ability to deliver complex space technology efficiently and affordably, catching the attention of scientists and policymakers worldwide. ISRO has also made significant advances in satellite technology, launching over 300 satellites for countries across the globe. It has played a crucial role in telecommunications, weather forecasting, disaster management, and national defense. India's space capabilities are not only scientific, but also strategic, providing essential data for military surveillance and border security. In 2023, India landed Chandrayaan-3 near the Moon's south pole, becoming the first country to reach this unexplored region. This was not just a technological feat. It was a bold statement about India's place in the future of lunar exploration. The country has also announced plans for human spaceflight missions, deep space exploration, and collaborations with other international space agencies. India's space journey is driven by a unique blend of innovation, frugality, and ambition. Engineers, scientists, and researchers work with limited budgets, but achieve results that rival those of the world's most advanced space programs. With each successful mission, India expands its footprint beyond Earth, proving that reaching the stars is not about wealth. It's about vision, persistence, and precision. India's economic rise is rooted in its ability to adapt, innovate, and remain resilient through global and domestic challenges. From post-independence struggles to liberalization in the 1990s and the digital transformation of the 21st century, India has steadily built one of the world's largest and fastest growing economies, Liberalization opened the Indian market to global trade and investment. This shift sparked rapid industrial growth, the expansion of services, and the emergence of a robust middle class. Over time, India became a hub for global outsourcing, especially in IT and business process services. Major multinational companies began investing in Indian operations, recognizing the value of skilled labor and economic potential. In recent years, India has shifted focus towards self-reliance and long-term economic sustainability. Programs like Make in India, Digital India, and Atmanirbhar Bharat have encouraged domestic manufacturing, digital infrastructure, and innovation-led growth. Large-scale infrastructure projects such as highways, airports, metro systems, and high-speed rail are transforming both urban and rural connectivity. Digital finance has become a key driver of growth. With platforms like UPI, India has built one of the world's most advanced digital payment ecosystems. This has helped bring millions into the formal economy, especially in smaller towns and villages. Startups and entrepreneurs are leveraging this ecosystem to build products and services that address uniquely Indian needs. India's economic strength also lies in its diversity. Agriculture, services, manufacturing, and digital sectors coexist and contribute to national GDP. Despite global economic slowdowns, India continues to attract foreign direct investment and has emerged as an attractive alternative to manufacturing hubs like China. By building a strong foundation in infrastructure, finance, and innovation, India has generated economic momentum that continues to draw attention from investors, policymakers, and global institutions around the world. India's global influence extends far beyond military or economic strength. Its soft power, rooted in culture, philosophy, tradition, and creativity, has quietly shaped global perceptions and won hearts across continents. This influence does not rely on force or dominance, but on inspiration, identity, and connection. One of the most widespread elements of India's soft power is yoga. What began as an ancient spiritual discipline has become a global wellness movement. Millions of people around the world practice yoga, attend retreats, and adopt its teachings for mental and physical health. This has helped India export not just a practice, but a way of life centered on balance and mindfulness. Cinema is another major force in India's soft power. Bollywood and regional film industries produce a massive volume of films every year, many of which are watched globally. Indian movies carry emotional depth, music, storytelling, and cultural richness, connecting with audiences from the Middle East to Africa to Latin America. International film festivals and streaming platforms have made Indian content more accessible than ever before. Indian cuisine is celebrated worldwide for its flavor, variety, and richness. From curry houses in London to street food stalls in New York, Indian food has become part of daily life in many countries. It carries with it a taste of India's heritage and hospitality. Other elements of Indian soft power include classical music, dance, literature, and spiritual philosophies such as nonviolence and unity in diversity. Indian festivals are celebrated in global cities, and traditional clothing like saris and kurtas have influenced international fashion. India's soft power works quietly but powerfully. It builds familiarity, admiration, and respect through shared cultural experiences. This cultural diplomacy creates long-term goodwill, allowing India to extend its influence across borders without confrontation or coercion. India is the world's largest democracy, with over 900 million eligible voters and a deeply rooted electoral tradition. Despite its vast population, cultural diversity, and regional complexities, India has maintained a functioning democratic system since gaining independence in 1947. This is not only rare but remarkable, especially among post-colonial nations that have struggled to sustain democratic governance. Elections in India are held regularly and are managed on an enormous scale. The Election Commission oversees every detail, ensuring participation from the remotest villages to the largest urban centers. The peaceful transfer of power, even between ideologically opposite parties, reflects the maturity of India's democratic institutions. Democracy in India is not limited to voting. It involves an active civil society, a free press, a robust judiciary, and a culture of political debate. Citizens engage in public discourse through protests, town halls, online platforms, and community organizing. This engagement reflects a deep connection to democratic values across generations and classes. India's federal structure allows states to have their own governments and policy autonomy. This encourages regional innovation, accountability, and responsiveness to local needs. Political competition at the state and national levels keeps the system dynamic and rooted in the people's will. The Indian Constitution provides a framework for secularism, social justice, and fundamental rights. Over time, grassroots movements and judicial interventions have expanded protections for marginalized groups, women, and minorities. While challenges persist, the democratic system has mechanisms for correction, reform, and citizen-driven change. India's democracy also serves as an example for other developing nations. It proves that democracy can thrive in a large, diverse, and developing society. The ability of millions to cast their vote and influence leadership decisions gives India a unique kind of legitimacy and moral authority on the global stage. India's approach to defense has evolved significantly over the past few decades. Traditionally seen as a reactive or conservative military power, India has transformed its defense posture to become more proactive, modern, and strategically autonomous. This shift reflects a broader understanding of security, one that includes not just national defense, but also regional stability and technological self-reliance. India has been steadily modernizing its armed forces by investing in advanced technology, surveillance systems, and combat readiness. The country has developed a credible nuclear triad, ensuring second-strike capability through land-based missiles, submarines, and air delivery systems. This deterrence posture has become a central element of India's strategic security doctrine. One of the most notable aspects of India's new defense approach is the push for indigenization. Through initiatives like Make in India and the Defense Acquisition Procedure, India is focusing on building its own military equipment, reducing dependence on foreign suppliers. Indigenous fighter jets like the Tejas, missile systems such as Agni and BrahMos, and the domestically developed INS Vikrant aircraft carrier signal a growing capability to design, produce, and deploy advanced defense assets. India has also deepened its military partnerships through joint exercises and defense agreements with countries like the United States, France, Israel, Japan, and Australia. These alliances are not just about buying equipment, they are about training, interoperability, intelligence sharing, and strategic alignment. Border management has improved with the use of satellite surveillance, drone monitoring, and real-time intelligence. Cybersecurity and space defense are now being treated as critical areas of national security. India's defense strategy today is about deterrence, preparedness, and self-sufficiency. It seeks to protect national interests while maintaining peace and stability in the region through strength and readiness. The message is clear: India will not provoke, but it will not be passive. India's strength lies not just in its economy, military, or technology, but in its deep cultural and spiritual resilience. For centuries, the country has faced invasions, colonization, famines, political upheavals, and internal division. Yet through all of it, India has held onto its identity, adapting to change without losing its essence. The country's history is marked by immense trials. Foreign empires ruled large parts of the subcontinent for hundreds of years. Colonial rule drained its wealth, fractured its institutions, and left behind deep scars. The trauma of partition in 1947 caused one of the largest human migrations in history, accompanied by widespread violence and loss. Still, in the face of such suffering, India chose the path of democracy, unity, and reconstruction. What has held India together is its spiritual and cultural continuity. Ancient philosophies like Vedanta, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism originated here and emphasized peace, balance, and inner strength. Indian society absorbed diverse influences: Persian, Greek, Central Asian, European, while maintaining a core rooted in its traditions. India's regional, linguistic, and religious diversity has also been a source of resilience. Instead of being torn apart by differences, Indian civilization has historically found strength in coexistence. This idea of unity and diversity is not just a slogan, it is a lived experience for millions across the country. Throughout its journey, India has produced thinkers, reformers, poets, and leaders who inspired resistance without hatred. From spiritual leaders to freedom fighters, the Indian soul has consistently responded to adversity with creativity, compassion, and an unshakable will to survive. This resilience is visible today in how India faces modern challenges, from economic inequality to global pressures, without abandoning its foundational values. The ability to bend without breaking, to suffer without surrender, defines the inner strength that continues to guide the nation forward. India's journey to power is not defined by a single event or achievement, but by a relentless spirit, a blend of youth, innovation, diplomacy, culture, democracy, defense, and unwavering resilience. Each of these untold secrets has shaped a nation that stands tall on the global stage today. As India continues to write its story, it carries the hopes of billions and the promise of a brighter future. To everyone striving to contribute to this incredible journey, keep pushing boundaries. Thank you for your attention, and best of luck in being part of India's unstoppable rise.